Hello, this is Louis Almeida from the Spinoza Anchorage of Study Group in Santa Monica. Today I'm going to talk about Easter. Today is Easter, April 9th, 2023. Spinoza was called a God-intoxicated man. In his ethics, um, he explains the nature of God and the nature of man. Spinoza saw God as a being with infinite attributes. He's not an anthropomorphic being or a personal God. He's a being that, as I said, infinite and comprised of infinite attributes, and we are part of two, the attribute of extension and the attribute of thought. Our mind, when it comes to clear ideas, true ideas, adequate ideas, Spinoza explained that God constitutes the essence of our mind. Without God or this attribute, the attribute of thought, we could not think. We would not have a mind. But what is the mind? The mind is the idea of the body, and the body is the object of the mind. They act as one, but there are two attributes that express this oneness, attribute of thought and the attribute of extension. So what is Easter? Well, Christianity and other religious groups believe that Jesus was a man or was a Christ, and who died for their sins. And that's all you have to do is pray to this or believe in this man, Jesus, and your sins are forgiven, and that you'll go into this place called heaven. Now, this is all symbolic, has no reality. Now, they're against this confused premise of this man, Jesus. However, Spinoza saw Jesus in his essence. What does that mean? He saw the idea of Jesus. He saw Jesus as a man who had great wisdom and communicated with God mind to mind. What does that mean? It means it's possible that you and I can come to what Spinoza came to and what Jesus came to, a clear mind, a mind that can reason and come to intuition. Reason enough is not will not bring us to a state of bliss or happiness or joy. Reason helps us exist in life in a more rational way. You might be good to your neighbor, you might be successful, you might have a great education, and everything is good as far as your life is concerned. However, there's more than material and wealth and the pleasures of the senses. There's another place to be. It's called the true awakened intelligence. And Spinoza's ethics, Spinoza has a method of how to awaken our mind. And when our mind is awakened, we now can understand what Jesus went through. We can come to what Jesus came to and what Spinoza came to, clear and true ideas. So Easter is symbolic to the idea that rebirth, a renewal, and a beginning again with new effort, a new awakened intelligence. Our first birth was being aware of our body, our senses, our instincts, and what love of our body, the food we eat, the ice cream, the turkey, or the vegetarian or the vegan, the delicious vegetables, the soups, the bread, the wine, all that is delicious. The senses enjoy it, our bodies enjoy it, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, there's more. The second birth is the awakened intelligence, when we begin to understand the laws that influence our nature and the laws that influence the whole of nature. the law of self-preservation, the law of cause and effect, the law of necessity, and the law of inertia. These laws influence all of human nature. And so the goal is to awaken our mind to see the truth. Otherwise, we are all subjected to our senses and our instincts. And these desires that come from this knowledge of hearsay and experiences, because that's the first level of knowledge, this is why man suffers. This is why we have pain. It's because we do not understand the laws that influence our nature. We have this belief that we have free will, and that when you see someone doing something that you disapprove of, you automatically go into anger. Or if you feel rejected, someone rejects you, you feel dejected. You feel pain, hate, and anger. There are over 8 billion people on planet Earth, and majority are in pain and suffering. Why? Because they live from the first level of knowledge, hearsay, and experience. We all were born into an environment. Some were good, some were bad, and others were terrible. Childhood abuse, trauma, is a plague of human nature. Domestic violence, wars. Anger is easily expressed with road rage. We kill one another with this drop of the hat. And yet, we are supposed to believe that this man, Jesus, is going to forgive us and and uh, and help us reach a place called heaven. Heaven is symbolic; it's not a reality. Miracles are symbolic and not a reality. The true miracle is when we rise above our first level of identity, which is our ego state, and we are aware of our body. The second birth is becoming aware of our true awakened intelligence. It's a spiritual intelligence because it's directly related to the intelligence of God's nature. So, you atheists, you're against the Christian God, which involves miracles and someone to save your life if you believe in Him. You're right. It's nonsense. However, Spinoza's God must be understood. So, you atheists, can you go out there and pick up the ethics and put your mind to work and see the reality? Because atheism is not a reality. They deny the Christian God and they do not go anywhere else. Denial and rejection. What do you do with that? Spinoza, his ethics will give us a direction, and he has a method of awakening. So I hope this idea, this Easter, the symbolic of Easter, the symbolism of it, will touch you, because without some meaningful and purposeful way to be, without a meaningful life, without having a purpose, what do you have? I found my purpose. I have meaning. I have love of self, love of this being called God, or Spinoza's God, or nature. And I can love others. However, I'm not dependent on them for my happiness, my approval, and my love. I depend on my clarity of mind, and that's possible for you. So look at Spinoza's ethics, see if you can study it. If not, because it's very difficult, because the concepts are so beyond our ego intellect. You must intuit. And so again, intuition is so important to understand what I'm communicating. Reason is not enough. Reason is important. Reason with intuition is the goal. I hope to hear from you, and please leave a comment. Thank you for listening.